very useful because we can mean, one, you should have all your own gear already checked, so that shouldn't be an issue. Number two, we can be going through all the gear that we have here, making sure it all works, helping lay out. If it's a big building, we may assign an investigator with each tech person to help them lay this out. But your radio should be set up somewhere near there. All the group equipment should be in the back. We need another area near there, or maybe a second table to put our personal gear on. The reason why is, this building's really secure. We're really fortunate. We can lock it down. Nobody's going to come and go down and knowing about it. The problem is, you get an abandoned building, we're going to have people on Command Central. They serve two purposes, monitoring and also to watch the equipment. And we always stay in twos, so it's going to be two people Command Central. Eventually, in cold weather, if we get enough cabling, we can back my truck all the way to the door, lay down the center seat, make that a table, and people can sit in there, and we can run the engine, stay warm, and we can run the cables out the back door. We'll just have to get some fresh-proof tubing to put in some of the doors so the cables don't get cleaved off when the doors are shut. We will eventually try something new tonight and get going. Normally that first hour for setup shouldn't take us longer to set up in an hour unless we have a very big building. This should have been a walk in a park, so we're a little bit off, we're about an hour behind. We did have some problems, we got all the equipment here, we're still missing some fittings. If you're at Menards, Home Depot, someplace, you see these 30-foot, 50-foot station cords on sale with rebates and everything, you're willing to donate the money back, buy one, donate the product to us, because we talked about this, and I and Eddie decided we want to keep this dues free. This ought to be something unlike a club that costs you dues every year. And besides, if we charge everybody $20 a year, that's not going to come nearly to meet the amount of equipment and cost we got in the equipment.
So everybody's going to
have Pardon?
You're happy with 30 feet?
I would rather have longer. I would like to have as long as you can get, because some locations...
Well, I got 100 foot on rail. I can't donate it, I can only bring it here.
That's fine, if you bring it with you, but...
100 foot right in there.
Eventually, what I'd like to do is get 5 or 6 reels or ones donated. What I would like to do, somewhere down the road, we've talked about this, I and the wife, we're hoping to move to a bigger location, a bigger house, and we've even talked about putting a trailer on the property like Caps did when they started out, or letting me have a building. She's being very kind to this, but she's getting something out of the deal. It's going to cost me a lot more than the damn building it costs. But, you know, that way we can have our own setup. Yeah, you don't want to know. Yeah, plastic surgery isn't cheap, folks. But this is the way the command center should look. We should look professional people. We should have people here, but there's sometimes we have to make exceptions to the rule, and we have to have an owner in here or somebody, especially if we're dealing with a house, we don't want a ton of people in and out there, so we want people outside. I just watched an episode of Taps here, and I was clearing out the DVR the last 2 days, some of these old episodes, and they were out in -4 conditions, out there huddled in the van trying to stay warm, with one team inside and one team out, going back and forth. Some areas we're going to do are very small. When you do that, I see another episode I told Ed about, they were on a street and they were unloading the van, putting the stuff on the sidewalk. Some guy walked by, grabbed a Pelican case and kept walking. And they had to chase him down and get it back. So security is a big issue. When we do the gun club, that's going to be a big issue because we got to get all the equipment moved in, everything locked down, because there's tons of transients and tons of drug dealers out there moving around that time of night. Before we leave today, I gotta get some pictures. I got a pretty good picture of Lou from one of the game nights. Actually, it's a decent picture. I got IDs. The only thing, we did this just as a formality. We had Luke as the officer of the lodge sign a contract. We have a contract that we'll have people sign when we go to investigate. That's a liability statement. I had Zella, the attorney, look it over, and he liked it. He's going to volunteer to be our attorney for this and my rescue squad both. And he's with the lodge. He likes doing this kind of shit, so he may even become involved with us down the road. He thought it was a pretty good overall contract. It just simply takes us out of liability. Anything we break, we're responsible for, but anything stopped, we're not responsible for it. So certainly that lays that out. The only thing we have in a building like that, when you're there at 2 o'clock in the morning and the cops roll in and somebody's seen it knows the club's closed at 2 a.m. and there's 5 or 6 guys hanging out, the only thing we got to prove is that contract to say, hey, we've got permission to be here and our ID to show who we are. So we want to make sure we're an ID here, we don't have to worry about it. But that's why I'm trying to get it ready for. So, anything you want to go in on that subject?
No, just not on that. I mean,
okay, we'll come to it as we go. These,
on that, I'm going to probably get us the same tubs we have for our lodge, which are pretty inexpensive, but they're durable enough.
What's that?
The tubs, storage tubs.
Yeah, we do need.
What I want to do is I want to get storage tubs so that all that shit can go in, basically inconspicuous storage tubs. We can remember the damn things. We take 5
cases. You know, you see them at Menards, Home
Yeah.
Depot, and they have the foam inside. The DVR and cameras go in 2 sets for those. As we get more equipment, we will buy some. They're only $20.
Yeah.
So I'll donate a couple of those in to put some of this gear in to keep it protected.
Yeah, I'm thinking like the power cords and.
Yeah. Now, I'd like to make that little one a cleanup